One of the most profound realizations on the journey of spiritual growth and dimensional shifting is the understanding that separation is an illusion. In the third dimension, where the physical world dominates our perception, we are conditioned to see ourselves as isolated individuals, separate from each other, from nature, and from the greater universe. However, as we begin to raise our consciousness and shift into higher dimensions, it becomes clear that this sense of separation is merely a construct of the ego and a product of third-dimensional thinking. At the core of reality lies an unbreakable interconnectedness that binds all beings, human, animal, plant, and even the cosmos itself, into one unified whole. This episode explores the illusion of separation, the concept of oneness, and how understanding this unity can transform not only our individual lives, but also the collective consciousness of humanity. Separation as an illusion of the third dimension. In the third dimension, life is often viewed through the lens of duality. We are taught to perceive the world in terms of opposites, self and other, good and bad, right and wrong. This dualistic mindset reinforces the idea that we are separate beings distinct from everything and everyone else around us. The role of the ego in separation. The ego plays a significant role in maintaining the illusion of separation. It thrives on the notion of individuality, constantly comparing, judging, and defining itself in relation to others. The ego's primary goal is self-preservation, which leads us to prioritize our own needs, desires, and fears above those of others. This creates a sense of competition and division, fostering the belief that we are independent entities, disconnected from the larger whole. The ego's attachment to external validation, whether through material possessions, social status, or relationships, further entrenches this illusion of separation. When we view ourselves as separate from others, we may feel the need to assert our superiority, control, or worth in order to feel secure in our identity. In reality, this only deepens our sense of isolation, as we fail to recognize the inherent unity that exists beneath the surface of our perceived separateness. The physical world as a reflection of separation. The third dimension, rooted in the material and physical realm, reinforces this illusion of separation. We experience the world through our five senses, which give us the impression that we are distinct from the objects, people, and environments we encounter. Physical distance, personal boundaries, and societal divisions, all of these reinforce the idea that we are separate beings inhabiting separate spaces. However, while the physical world appears to support this idea of separation, it is merely a reflection of third-dimensional consciousness. When we begin to expand our awareness and shift into higher dimensions, we see that the physical world is only one aspect of reality, a limited aspect that does not encompass the true nature of existence. The deeper truth that emerges as we transcend three-dimensional consciousness is that we are all interconnected, not just as human beings, but with all of existence. Every form of life, from the smallest organism to the vast cosmos, is part of a greater web of energy and consciousness. This interconnectedness transcends physical boundaries and unites us on a fundamental level. At the core of human existence lies the truth that we are all one. While we may have different cultures, beliefs, and experiences, we all share the same underlying essence: consciousness. This shared consciousness connects us in ways that go beyond the physical and the material. When we hurt others, we are ultimately hurting ourselves. When we uplift others, we uplift ourselves. This realization shifts the way we perceive and interact with the world, fostering compassion, empathy, and a sense of responsibility for the well-being of others. In higher dimensions, the boundaries between self and other dissolve. We begin to see ourselves not as isolated individuals, but as expressions of the same universal consciousness. This shift in perspective allows us to embrace unity and live from a place of love, rather than fear or competition. Our interconnectedness extends beyond humanity. We are also deeply connected to nature and the universe as a whole. The natural world operates in harmony, with every organism playing a vital role in the ecosystem. Just as the cells in our body work together to maintain balance, every living being on Earth contributes to the overall health and well-being of the planet. When we harm the environment, we harm ourselves. Conversely, when we nurture and protect the earth, we nurture our own existence. On an even larger scale, we are connected to the cosmos. The same elements that make up the stars and planets are present within our own bodies. The energy that flows through the universe flows through us as well. This realization dissolves the sense of separation between ourselves and the universe, revealing that we are an integral part of the cosmic whole. Collective consciousness and its impact on reality. One of the most profound implications of our interconnectedness is the concept of collective consciousness. The idea that we are all contributors to a shared field of consciousness that influences reality itself. Collective consciousness refers to the combined thoughts, beliefs, and emotions of humanity as a whole, and it has the power to shape our collective experience of the world. The influence of thoughts and beliefs. As individuals, our thoughts and beliefs have a direct impact on our personal reality. When we hold limiting beliefs or negative emotions, we attract experiences that reflect those states of consciousness. However, the same principle applies on a collective level. The thoughts and beliefs of the collective consciousness can influence global events, societal trends, and even the future of humanity. When large groups of people hold fear-based beliefs, it creates a ripple effect that manifests in the form of conflict, division, and suffering. On the other hand, when more people begin to awaken to the truth of oneness and unity, the collective consciousness shifts toward love, compassion, and cooperation. This shift has the potential to create a more peaceful, harmonious world. Co-creating reality through collective intention. As we awaken to our interconnectedness, we also realize that we are co-creators of reality. Our collective thoughts, intentions, and actions shape the world we live in. By aligning our personal consciousness with higher vibrational states, such as love, gratitude, and compassion, we contribute to the elevation of the collective consciousness. This is why it is so important for individuals to engage in practices that raise their own consciousness. Every time we choose love over fear, unity over division, or compassion over judgment, we positively impact the collective consciousness. As more people begin to operate from this higher state of awareness, the illusion of separation will dissolve, and the reality of oneness will become more apparent. Experiencing oneness in everyday life. While the concept of oneness may seem abstract or difficult to grasp, it is possible to experience this interconnectedness in everyday life. By shifting our awareness and practicing mindfulness, we can begin to recognize the unity that exists beneath the surface of our daily experiences. Mindfulness in mundane activities. One way to experience oneness is through mindfulness, being fully present in the moment and aware of the interconnectedness of all things. Even mundane activities such as washing dishes, walking in nature, or interacting with others can become opportunities to experience unity. By paying attention to the details of the present moment, we can begin to see how everything is connected. For example, when washing dishes, you can reflect on how the water, the soap, the dishes, and even your own hands are all part of the same flow of energy. The act of washing dishes becomes a metaphor for the interconnectedness of life, where every action and every element is part of the whole. Connecting with others. Another way to experience oneness is by consciously connecting with others. Instead of seeing people as separate or different, try to recognize the shared consciousness that exists within them. Practice empathy, compassion, and non-judgment in your interactions. When you listen to others with an open heart and mind, you can sense the unity that binds you together. Exercise for experiencing oneness. The next time you are in a social situation, focus on truly listening to the person you are interacting with. As they speak, imagine that the consciousness within them is the same consciousness that exists within you. Notice how this shift in perspective changes the way you perceive them and the connection you feel. Conclusion. The illusion of separation is one of the most pervasive and limiting beliefs of the third dimension. However, as we raise our consciousness and shift into higher dimensions, we begin to see the truth of oneness, that we are all interconnected, not just as human beings, but with nature, the universe, and the collective consciousness. By embracing this unity, we can transcend the limitations of the ego and experience life from a higher, more expansive perspective. As we continue to awaken to our interconnectedness, we have the power to transform not only our own lives but also the collective consciousness of humanity. Through mindfulness, empathy, and intentional living, we can dissolve the illusion of separation and co-create a reality based on love, unity, and oneness.